Professor B.S. Smart, and President GSHP, Honorable Vice Chancellor Sardar Patel University, Mandi, Professor D.D. Sharma sir. I would also like to welcome on the stage convener of the seminar, Dr. B.R. Thakur, and organizing secretary, Dr. Ramlal. Let us put your hands together and welcome them.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, distinguished guests, research scholars, and each and everyone present here. There are special moments and occasions in life that brings people together. Today is one such day.
We are gathered here to celebrate the first annual meet of Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh on the theme Geography, Development and Public Policy, jointly organized by Department of Geography, Himachal Pradesh University in collaboration with Northwest Regional Center ICSSR Chandigarh, which is going to add a lot more to the repository of our knowledge in next 2 days. With this exuberant enthusiasm, I hereby roll out the inauguration of this scintillating event, and we shall be taking a bouquet of cherished memories from the seminar. मैं भूगोल विभाग की ओर से इस सेमिनार में आए हुए सभी अतिथि गणों का सादर अभिवादन करती हूँ, अभिनंदन करती हूँ, स्वागत करती हूँ.
Our chief guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Himachal Pradesh University, Professor S.P. Bansal sir, will be joining us virtually through recorded message. So, we welcome you by giving a huge round of applause. Due to his busy schedule, he could not come today as he had to go to Central University, Dharamshala. Our stage is graced by our guest of honor, Professor Pro Vice Chancellor Jyoti Prakash sir. Along with guest of honor, we have on the dais patron GSHP Professor B.S. Smart sir, and we have President GSHP Professor D.D. Sharma sir, Vice Chancellor Sardar Patel University, Mandi.
Our stage is also adorned by a noted educationist, today's keynote speaker, Professor Kaushal Kumar Sharma, who is currently a professor at CSRD JNU, one of the prestigious institutions. We also have convener of the seminar, Dr. B.R. Thakur, and organizing secretary, Dr. Ramlal.
We feel really privileged to have all of you in our national seminar. I thank all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and distinguished guests and participants and everyone present in the hall for sparing their valuable time and gracing the event with their benign presence.
सदा रहे सबके दिलों में प्यार, आती रहे खुशियों की बहार, रख कर मंजिलों की ओर कदम, मेहमानों का करें तालियों के साथ वेलकम. विद्यादायिनी नाम तुम्हारा, मन में ऐसी श्रद्धा भर दो. विद्यादायिनी नाम तुम्हारा, मन में ऐसी श्रद्धा भर दो. सृजनशीलता हो जीवन में, पावन हृदय सबका कर दो. इसी बीच में मेरा आग्रह रहेगा हमारे मंचासीन अतिथियों से कि वे विद्या की देवी माँ सरस्वती के आगे दीप प्रज्वलित कर आज के कार्यक्रम का शुभारंभ करें. दीप ज्योति परम ज्योति, दीप ज्योति परम ज्योति, दीप ज्योति परम ज्योति, दीप ज्योति जनार्दनः, दीपो हरतु मे भावम्, दीपज्योति नमोस्तुते. शुभं करोतु कल्याणम्, आरोग्यं नमोस्तुते आत्मज्योति प्रदीप्ताय ब्रह्मज्योति नमोस्तुते ब्रह्मज्योति प्रदीप्ताय ज्योति नमोस्तुते। आइए चलें अंधकार से प्रकाश की ओर, पृथ्वी से आकाश की ओर, पदार्थ से सूक्ष्म की ओर, प्राणी से परमात्मा की ओर, एक प्रयास अज्ञान से ज्ञान की ओर। मैं सभी अतिथिगणों का धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगी।
I humbly request all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais and all the delegates present in the hall to kindly rise for the University Kulgeet.
हिमाचल विश्वविद्यालय विविध विद्यालय विविध विद्यालय शक्ति पीठों की धरा शक्ति कोटि पीठों की धरा जो शैल संस्कृति की धरा जो नृत्य गीतों की जहाँ पिताशा जन्म धारा पुण्य सलीलाए कुसुम नलहार बनती है शत्रु संग सलीलाए धरा मानव ऋषि की परम पावन ज्ञान में जिनमें हिमाचल विश्वविद्यालय विविध विद्यालय विविध विद्यालय पर्वत श्रृंखला दिखती वहाँ तक ज्ञान की मधुराश्नियाँ फैलती रहती धीरते आना की पल गरजते गीत चमुना के स्वश्री शारदा साकार उठती मुझे गाते ये शास्त्रे चक्षुषे घोषयन्ता मंत्र जो निर्भय हिमाचल विश्वविद्यालय विविध विद्यालय विविध विद्यालय देवनारायणी तथागत सदृश है सुभग संदेश मैत्री का निरंतर बांटते हिमाचल का परम सदन विद्या कला सदन विज्ञान का तकनीकियों का योग्यता निरंतर बढ़ रहा आगे उदित सतत सब है हिमाचल विश्वविद्यालय विविध
धन्यवाद। आप सभी अपने अपने स्थान पर विराजमान हो जाइए।
करुणा और दया से उनका दिल भरा है, चूमती जिनके कदम ये गगन ये धरा है। करुणा और दया से उनका दिल भरा है, चूमती जिनके कदम ये गगन ये धरा है। आओ मिलकर करें मेहमानों का स्वागत, अतिथि देवो भव भारत की परंपरा है। Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to felicitate our esteemed guests. We would like to welcome our esteemed guests by presenting them a token of respect. So, I am more than delighted to introduce among you our chief guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Himachal Pradesh University, Professor S.P. Bansal sir, in his absentia. Sir will join us virtually. He is Honorable Vice Chancellor in Central University of Himachal Pradesh, Dharamshala, and also holding charge of Additional Vice Chancellor, Himachal Pradesh University. His teaching experience spans for about 30 years. He has published about 90 research papers, 24 books, and guided 21 PhDs.
Professor Bansal's area of research expertise are tourism management, marketing management, quantitative techniques. Many awards have been conferred upon him, the latest being Global Excellency Award for Outstanding Academic Leaders 2021. Sir has also been the director of Institute of Integrated Himalayan Studies Center of Excellence, HP University Shimla, Dean Studies Welfare Himachal Pradesh University. He has been member of Board of Studies of various academic boards. Sir has delivered inaugural address and keynote speaker in more than 300 seminars and conferences.
Now, I am profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce the guest of honor among the audience. A dream doesn't become reality through magic, it takes sweat, determination, and hard work. Yes, it's a belief endorsed by our guest of honor, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Himachal Pradesh University, Professor Jyoti Prakash. He is a professor in the Department of Mathematics, Himachal Pradesh University. His teaching experience spans over 25 years. He has guided 7 PhDs and 19 MPhils. He has contributed more than 100 research papers to academic world. He is also a member of academic bodies of various institutes.
We welcome you, sir. Now I request convener of the seminar, Dr. B.R. Thakur, to felicitate our guest of honor, Professor Jyoti Prakash sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor, Himachal Pradesh University, with Himachali shawl, topi, memento and a chamba thal. Thank you, sir.
It is indeed a proud privilege and honor to have a distinguished academician among us, Professor Kaushal Kumar Sharma, as today's keynote speaker. Professor Sharma is a professor in CSRD JNU, one of the prestigious institutes. His impeccable blend of wit, charm, and elegance makes him a recognized speaker. Professor Sharma is also Dean, School of Social Sciences, JNU, and Chairperson, Center for Women's Studies, JNU.
Professor Sharma's area of specialization are rural development and agricultural transformation. He has been visiting professor to 3 universities in Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh and Rajasthan. He is also member of Board of Studies of various academic institutions and member of several NGOs. Professor Sharma has completed more than 70 major research projects in various fields like community development, health, disaster, agriculture transformation, tribal development, to name a few. He has delivered more than 300 invited lectures at various national and international platforms.
मैं ऑर्गेनाइजिंग सेक्रेटरी डॉक्टर रामलाल जी से आग्रह करती हूँ कि वो मंच पर विराजित हमारे आज के मुख्य वक्ता प्रोफेसर कौशल कुमार शर्मा जी को हिमाचली टोपी, शॉल, स्मृति चिन्ह और चंबत थाल देकर सम्मानित करें। धन्यवाद महोदय। गम छू मंतर हो जाएंगे, खुशहालियां आएंगी। गम छू मंतर हो जाएंगे, खुशहालियां आएंगी। अतिथियों के अभिनंदन में अगर तालियां आएंगी।
To continue with, we would like to felicitate Dr. Avtar Singh, our special guest. Dr. Avtar Singh is representative Northwest Regional Centre, ICSSR, Chandigarh, our knowledge partner. We are highly obliged to have you, sir. I request co-organizing secretary, Dr. Seema Chaudhary, to felicitate Dr. Avtar Singh with Himachali shawl, topi and a memento.
Teaching is the profession that teaches all other professions. The influence of a good teacher can never be erased. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to felicitate our teachers. Department of Geography and Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh have jointly decided to felicitate our reverend teachers who have given their dedicated services to the Department of Geography. मत बैठ आशियां में परों को समेटकर, मत बैठ आशियां में परों को समेटकर, कर हौसला खुली फिजाओं में उड़ान का। अब हम सम्मानित करेंगे एक ऐसी शख्सियत को जिन्होंने अपने मजबूत इरादों से अपने विद्यार्थियों को आकाश की ऊंचाइयों को छूने के लिए सदैव प्रेरित किया। I request Dr. P.D. Bhardwaj sir to please come upon the stage. And may I invite member GSHP Dr. Sanjeev Sharma from JNU to read the citation of Dr. P.D. Bhardwaj.
A very good morning to all of you. Our respected Dr. P.D. Bhardwaj is a teacher for excellency and has served the Department of Geography, Himachal Pradesh University, Simla for more than 2 decades. He joined the department in 1991. Being an academician, he has shaped the future of many young geographers like me. Dr. Bhardwaj has completed MA Geography from Punjab University, Chandigarh and PhD from Punjab University, Patiala. Under his supervision, many such scholars has completed MPhil, PhD degree. Professor Bhardwaj has published many research papers in many reputed national and international journals. He taught cartography, population geography, quantitative techniques in geography, GIS and settlement in the Department of Geography. The Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh is proud to honor Professor Dr. P.D. Bhardwaj for his excellent services in the field of academy.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our guest of honor, Professor Jyoti Prakash sir, to felicitate Dr. P.D. Bhardwaj with Himachali shawl, topi, memento and a chamba thal.
ये अलग बात है कि खामोश खड़े रहते हैं, फिर भी जो लोग बड़े हैं वो बड़े रहते हैं। ये अलग बात है कि खामोश खड़े रहते हैं, फिर भी जो लोग बड़े हैं वो बड़े रहते हैं। ऐसे कलंदरों से मिलता है मिजाज आपका, जिनके कदमों में कई ताज पड़े रहते हैं। Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to felicitate the epitome of simplicity, devotion and dedication, Professor B.S. Mart sir.
May I request Dr. Abhit Choshta to come up on the stage and read the citation of Professor B.S. Mark.
Thank you. Good morning to all of you. Professor Bhupender Singh Mart, a geographer par excellence, has served the Department of Geography, Himachal Pradesh for 26 years. He is patron of GSHP and a well-known professional in the field of physical geography, especially geomorphology and climatology, as well as cultural geography and remote sensing. He has been professor and chairperson in our department. Being the first teacher to join this department on 10th August 1989, he contributed a lot to ameliorate this department and introduced a full-fledged diploma course in remote sensing and GIS, which was first of its kind in entire northwestern India. His arduous efforts made it possible for the department to get its own library. Professor Mark possesses a rich legacy of teaching and research experience spanning more than 30 years. He has published 4 books and contributed more than 50 research papers and book chapters. Additionally, 7 PhDs and more than 20 MPhils have been awarded so far under his scintillating mentorship. Professor Mar is an alumnus of eminent institutes, including Punjab University, University of Missouri, Columbia, and Indiana State University, Indiana. He did MA and MPhil from Punjab University and PhD from Indiana State University, USA. His teaching phase began as teaching assistant at Department of Geography, University of Missouri. Before joining this department, he served as assistant professor at Kirodimal College and Department of Geography, University of Jammu, as well as CSIR pool officer at University of Delhi and Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology. He has graced HPU by holding the charge of Dean Students Welfare, Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, Director Institute of Integrated Himalayan Studies, and Director UGC Academic Staff College. Additionally, he has been an active member of HP Disaster Management Authority, HP State Environment Impact Assessment and Advisory Committee. He played pivotal role in drafting the rules and regulations of choice-based credit system. His remarkable contribution for the advancement and upgradation of university are indeed indispensable. The Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh is proud to honor Professor Bhupender Singh Mar for his exemplary services in the field of academia. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now I request guest of honor, Professor Jyoti Prakash sir, to felicitate Professor B.S. Mar with Himachali shawl, topi, memento, chamba thal and his citation.
भगवान ने दी जिंदगी, माँ बाप से मिला प्यार बेशुमार। भगवान ने है दी जिंदगी, माँ बाप से मिला प्यार बेशुमार। ज्ञान की शिक्षा देने के लिए गुरुजी हम हैं आपके शुक्रगुजार। अब हम जिन्हें सम्मानित करेंगे उनके बारे में कुछ पंक्तियां कहना चाहूंगी। सुन कर दे अनसुना, ऐसी इनकी आवाज नहीं। मिलकर भूल जाए कोई, ऐसे इनके अल्फाज नहीं। सुन कर दे अनसुना, ऐसी इनकी आवाज नहीं। मिलकर भूल जाए कोई, ऐसे इनके अल्फाज नहीं। किसी महफिल में छुप जाएं, ऐसे इनके अंदाज नहीं। सूरज से दमकते हैं ये, किसी परिचय के मोहताज नहीं। Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to felicitate a renowned academician, an excellent teacher and a generous human being, Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor D.D. Sharma sir. To acknowledge his dedicated teaching, Department of Geography is felicitating Professor D.D. Sharma sir. May I invite Dr. Seema Chaudhary to read the citation of Professor D.D. Sharma sir.
A marvelous morning to one and all present over here. I take this opportunity to read the citation for Professor D.D. Sharma, a mark of Platonic cum Yoga. Professor Devdutt Sharma, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sardar Patel University, Mandi, is also the Chancellor's nominee to Executive Council of Himachal Pradesh University and nominated member of Expert Appraisal Committee for Environment Impact Assessment Projects under Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. Professor Sharma, an alumnus of first batch of Department of Geography at Himachal Pradesh University, holds an extensive span of 29 years of teaching and research. Being a scintillating mentor, he has guided 14 PhD and 37 MPhil students, holding an expertise in the area of environment, disaster management, regional disparity, urbanization, and application of geospatial technology. Professor Sharma has contributed more than 100 research papers of national and international acclaim. Besides, he has also delivered keynote addresses, invited talks, and authored 2 books to his credit. Professor Sharma has fulfilled his duties and responsibilities in different capacities like Chairperson Department of Geography, Director UGC HRDC, Pre-Examination Coaching Center and IQAC Shimla with utmost veracity and highly commendable efforts. In addition, he has also been member of Board of Studies and RDCs and visitor nominee to several other universities across the length and breadth of the country. As a renowned academician, Professor Sharma is the head of Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh. He has also served as President, Association of Punjab Geographers, Vice President, National Association of Geographers India, and life member of several other academic groups. Professor Sharma is also the recipient of global scholarships and has visited foreign universities like Badspa, University of Highland and Islands, and Perth, Scotland for academic pursuits. The Department of Geography, Himachal Pradesh is proud to honor Professor Devdutt Sharma for his exemplary services in the field of academia and administration.
Now I request our guest of honor, Professor Jyoti Prakash sir, to felicitate Professor D.D. Sharma sir with Himachali shawl, topi, memento and citation.
Thank you, sir. Respected sir, words cannot describe you, how blessed your students are. The blend of extraordinary teaching skills has really made you an excellent teacher. Thank you, sir.
Moving ahead, it's time to felicitate the most diligent and veteran academician who has dedicated his life to geography, whose efforts enabled the Punjab Geographer Journal to get Scopus indexed. We are thrilled to have among us such a personality, Professor H.S. Mangat, sir.
May I request Professor H.S. Mangat sir to come up on the stage. Now I request member GSHP Dr. Sachin Kumar to come and read the citation of Professor H.S. Mangat.
Jai to all of you. Professor H.S. Mangat is a veteran geographer and an academician par excellence. After serving in various colleges in Haryana and Punjab, Professor Mangat joined Punjab University Patiala in 1987 and retired as professor and chairperson in 2003. He founded Association of Punjab Geographers in 1999 and has been nurturing this association since then. Currently, the chief patron of Association of Punjab Geographers, Professor Mangat, left no stone unturned to get the journal of the association, the Punjab Geographers, indexed in Scopus, making it the first geographical journal of India. Professor Mangat's expertise include population studies, urban and regional development, electoral studies, issues related with human resource development, religion, crime, flood related disasters and their management. He has guided various research scholars and has published a number of research papers in reputed national and international journals. He has also authored a book on Brazil and has co-authored a training manual on district planning for members of the District Planning Commission. His indefatigable zeal and quest for excellence inspire all of us. The Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh feels proud to honor Professor H.S. Mangat for his exemplary contribution to the field of geography. We salute your yeoman contribution, spanning over half a decade, sir, and pray to the Almighty for your long, healthy, and productive life ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Professor Jyoti Prakash sir to honor Professor H.S. Mangat sir with Himachali shawl, topi, memento, citation and chamba thal.
Thank you, sir. We express our sincere gratitude to you for rendering selfless services.
ये जो बच्ची है ना, इसने जो हिंदी बोली है उसने इंग्लिश को मात कर दिया। इतनी रिच लैंग्वेज है हिंदी, आज मुझे ये समझ में आया है। Translation. I welcome the origin of Himachal Pradesh Geographical Association or Society of India. I also congratulate to the organizer of this meet as well as the founders of this Geographical Society. It should have come earlier also. APG is a sister organization, elder sister of this HP, and we will be happy to have the cooperation with each other. In fact, these are the political boundaries which have been Punjab geographer, Haryana geographer and something like that, Himachal Pradesh geographer. Geography तो एक ही है. हिमाचल प्रदेश के जो जितने भी ये सीनियर टीचर जो भी हैं, दे आर द मेंबर ऑफ द एसोसिएशन ऑफ पंजाब जोग्राफर, और पंजाब जोग्राफर के जो हैं वो सारे के सारे हमारे. तो आई विश दैट ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हिमाचल प्रदेश जो हमारे इंटर स्टेट प्रोग्राम APG ने जो बनाए हुए हैं, उनके साथ we will get the strength from the Himachal Pradesh University, and we wish that it should also go, and we will be, as a elder sister organization, we will provide every type of the help to the Himachal Pradesh Geographical Society, and I wish it should grow much better speed than this. देखो मैं तो था, मुझे तो पता ही नहीं था कुछ भी, जब ये एसोसिएशन शुरू हुई उस समय कुछ रोजगार वो भी नहीं था, इंटरनेट भी नहीं था, कुछ भी नहीं था, अपने आप ही आप लोग मिलते चले गए और ये काफिला जो है बड़ा होता चला सकेगा। और हमारी जो पहली कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई थी उसमें तो कुछ लोग ही हम जुटा पाए थे जो हिमाचल हरियाणा के या पंजाब के जो थे। तो दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आपको पता है कहाँ कहाँ से यहाँ पे लोग जुटा लिया। तो दिस इज ड्यू टू द यंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन or the youngster, it is in the hand of the young people. I congratulate to all the persons who have joined this association of हिमाचल प्रदेश। थैंक यू वेरी मच। मुझे तो इन्होंने वैसे मान दिया, मैं तो सिर्फ मेरे पास तो एक ही है क्रेडिट, दैट इज ओनली द एज फैक्टर। और एज ये फैक्टर जो है ये मेरा अपना है, लेकिन दूसरा जो फैक्टर है दैट इज बाय विच आई एम ओवर हियर टू से दैट इज ओनली द एसोसिएशन ऑफ पंजाब जोग्राफर्स। और आपने जो मुझे प्यार दिया है, आई एम सो नाइस ऑफ यू, और आपको सदा के लिए याद रखूँगा। थैंक यू। ये जो कैप है हिमाचल प्रदेश वाली, जब ये डालता है आदमी तो उसकी पर्सनैलिटी बदल जाती है। मेरे पास एक पहले भी जब APJ की यहाँ पे कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई थी वो भी पड़ी हुई है, वो भी संभाली हुई है उसी प्रकार, और इसको भी हम इसी प्रकार लेते हैं। आपका तहसील।
Thank you, respected sir. We express our sincere gratitude to you for rendering selfless services. The Department of Geography and Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh is indeed feeling proud to honor such eminent personalities.
Now I request Ms. Twinkle Wed to bring souvenir to the stage, and I request dignitaries on the dais to kindly release the souvenir.
Thank you, respected dignitaries. किताबें मौन रहकर बोलती हैं, हमारे ज्ञान चक्षु खोलती हैं। किताबें मौन रहकर बोलती हैं, हमारे ज्ञान चक्षु खोलती हैं। सिखाती हैं ये जीने का सलीका, नफस में खुशबुओं को घोलती हैं। Now I call upon stage Dr. Sarita Verma, Dr. Karam Singh, Secretary Language, Culture and Arts Academy, and Dr. O.P. Sharma, Chairman, Y.S. Parmar Peeth, Himachal Pradesh University, Shimla, for releasing the book entitled Folk Geography of Transgiri Region in Himachal Pradesh. May I request the dignitaries on the dais to release a book authored by Dr. Sarita Verma, which has been published by Himachal Academy of Arts, Culture and Languages, Shimla.
Dr. Sarita Verma is an active researcher in the field of cultural geography. She has worked on folk culture of Transgiri region in Himachal Pradesh. This book is totally based on cultural aspects of Transgiri region. That's why this book has been selected for publication by Himachal Academy of Arts, Culture and Languages, Shimla, for publication. It needs worth mentioning that central government has recently accorded tribal status to Hati community of Transgiri regions.
This work highlights that Various aspects of culture are still preserved in Transgiri region despite increasing urbanization, industrialization and globalization. People find utmost happiness in their traditional way of life and they still relish their age-old traditional food, festivals, indigenous products, songs and dialects. Presence and worship of deities still finds a high place in the daily life of people of Transgiri region. Thank you, respected dignitaries.
Now, I request our Honorable Guest of Honor, Professor Jyoti Prakash Sir, to enlighten us with his words.
आज की इस नेशनल सेमिनार और एनुअल मीट जिसका शीर्षक है जियोग्राफी डेवलपमेंट एंड पब्लिक पॉलिसी, इस कार्यक्रम में मंच पर उपस्थित प्रोफेसर कौशल कुमार शर्मा जी, की नोट स्पीकर एंड प्रोफेसर इन JNU, प्रोफेसर D.D. शर्मा जी, प्रेसिडेंट of Geographical Society of HP and Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sardar Patel University, Mandi, Himachal Pradesh, Professor B.S. Marji, Patron of Geographical Society of HP, Dr. B.R. Thakur ji, convener of this national seminar, Dr. Ramlal ji, organizing secretary of this program, co-organizing secretary Dr. Seema Chaudhary, देश भर से आए हुए एमिनेंट साइंटिस्ट, डीन्स, डायरेक्टर्स ऑफ हिमाचल प्रदेश यूनिवर्सिटी, अन्य आचार्यगण व प्यारे विद्यार्थियों, शोधकर्ताओं, कल शाम को ही मैं B.R. ठाकुर जी के साथ बैठा था, तो ऐसे बात चली थी, तो मैं इनको कह रहा था कि सारी पृथ्वी आपकी है, जितने भी जियोग्राफर्स हैं आपकी पृथ्वी है, आपको हम नाराज नहीं कर सकते हैं। हो सकता है हमें कहीं आप नाराज हो गए तो कहीं चांद पे जाना पड़ेगा पृथ्वी छोड़ के। ऐसे लाइटर मूड में ये बात चली थी। ये जो नेशनल सेमिनार होते हैं इनका एक अपना महत्व है। जो एस्टेब्लिश्ड साइंटिस्ट हैं, रिसर्चर्स हैं, उनके लिए एक ये रिफ्रेशर कोर्स है, और जो नए जो शोधकर्ता हैं, हमारे विद्यार्थी हैं, उनके लिए एक सीखने के लिए कि रिसर्च कैसे होती है, कैसे हम रिसर्च पेपर लिखेंगे और आजकल लेटेस्ट किन किन फील्ड्स में काम हो रहा है, रिसर्च के एथिक्स क्या हैं, इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी रिसर्च कैसे होती है, कलेक्टिव जो रिसर्च है वो कैसे होती है। आजकल हम देखते हैं 8-8, 9-9 ऑथर्स एक रिसर्च पेपर के होते हैं और डिफरेंट फील्ड के होते हैं। कोई कंप्यूटर साइंस का है, कोई मैथमेटिक्स का है, कोई जियोग्राफी का साथ जुड़ा है। तो इस तरह से एक बड़ा बहुत ही अच्छा एक समन्वय आजकल रिसर्चर्स में बन रहा है, और उससे एक अच्छी क्वालिटी की रिसर्च, क्योंकि कोई व्यक्ति परिपक्व हर फील्ड का नहीं हो सकता है। हर व्यक्ति की अपनी एक लिमिटेशन होती है, अपनी एक फील्ड है। उसको दूसरे रिसर्चर की आवश्यकता रहती है। आजकल जैसे टेक्नोलॉजी हमारी बढ़ रही है, जो सॉफ्टवेयर्स नए नए डेवलप हो रहे हैं, उनको हमने यूज करना है। हो सकता है एक मैथमेटिक्स का व्यक्ति उनको ना जानता हो, एक कंप्यूटर का एक व्यक्ति उसमें एक्सपर्ट है, तो उसकी हेल्प लेके मैथमेटिक्स की रिसर्च कई गुना अच्छी क्वालिटी में निकल सकती है, ज्योग्राफी की रिसर्च कई गुना अच्छी क्वालिटी में निकल सकती है। एक स्टैटिस्टिशियन को हम साथ जोड़ेंगे ज्योग्राफी में तो कई गुना अच्छी हम रिसर्च कर सकते हैं। तो इस तरह से ये जो सेमिनार है इनका एक अपना ठीक है, विश्वविद्यालय को इसका लाभ होता है। नैक के लिए हमें नेशनल सेमिनार है, जो रिसर्च वर्कशॉप्स हैं वो तो ऑर्गेनाइज करनी है, लेकिन बेसिक जो उसका एक लाभ है वो यही है। कॉलेज से कई यहाँ पर हमारे जो रिसर्चर्स हैं जिन्होंने रिसर्च की है उनके लिए भी एक ये रिसर्च का एक रिफ्रेश होने का एक अपने अंदर, क्योंकि कॉलेज का एक अलग वातावरण होता है वहाँ पर। हिमाचल में विशेषकर बाहर भी ऐसी व्यवस्था होगी कि एक स्टाफ रूम होता है, अलग से इंडिविजुअल कमरा देना संभव नहीं है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की कमी है। तो वहाँ का जो रिसर्च का वातावरण है उस तरह से नहीं बन पाता है। लेकिन जब वो, मेरा अपना भी अनुभव है, जब हम लोग ऐसे सेमिनार में कॉलेज से अटेंड करने आते थे तो एक अलग तरह की एनर्जी हमें यहाँ से ऐसी सेमिनार से, ऐसी कॉन्फ्रेंसेस से मिलती थी कि हमें भी दोबारा एक बार फिर से पीएचडी की, उसके बाद गैप पड़ गया, लेकिन यहाँ आके एक दोबारा रिचार्ज होके कि हमने ये काम करना है, ये रिसर्च का काम जो छूट गया है किसी कारण से दोबारा उसको शुरू करना है। इस तरह के ये अपने लाभ होते हैं। भारतवर्ष प्राचीन काल से ही रिसर्च में हमेशा अग्रणी रहा है। 2500 वर्ष पूर्व ठीक है, इतने साधन नहीं थे, एक अलग तरह का रिसर्च का एक वातावरण था। लोग बाहर से सीखने आते थे। हमारे जितने विश्वविद्यालय के आज भी अवशेष हैं, चाहे नालंदा विश्वविद्यालय, चाहे तक्षशिला विश्वविद्यालय, चाहे विक्रमशिला विश्वविद्यालय है, चाहे दूसरे जो विश्वविद्यालय थे, एक गुजरात में था, उड़ीसा में था, तो वहाँ के अवशेष देखे जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बचा है तो ऐसा लगता है कि उस समय कितना एडवांस यहाँ वातावरण रहा होगा। विश्व भर से लोग यहाँ पढ़ाई करने आते थे। हर तरह की पढ़ाई यहाँ पर होती थी और बाहर का अध्ययन तो होता ही था, पॉलिटिकल साइंस थी उसका अध्ययन तो होता ही था, हिस्ट्री का भी होता था, हर तरह का ज्योतिष विद्या का भी होता था, लेकिन भीतर की सच्चाइयाँ क्या हैं, कैसे मनुष्य अपने आप को सुधार सकता है, ऐसी रिसर्चेज भी यहाँ होती थी। और इन रिसर्चेज का समाज को दो चीजें रिसर्च में प्रमुख रहती थी कि लोक कल्याण, जो रिसर्च है वो हमारी लोक कल्याण के लिए हो, धन कमाना उद्देश्य नहीं था। आज थोड़ा सा पाश्चात्य का एक प्रभाव हमारी जो रिसर्चेज है उसमें, वो पैसे को आगे देख के, धन को आगे देख के रिसर्च को आगे बढ़ाते हैं। भारतवर्ष का जो एक रिसर्च का एक वातावरण था वो यही था कि लोक कल्याण कैसे हो, और जो भी रिसर्च है वो सत्य के ऊपर आधारित हो। ये दो चीजें बड़ी प्रमुख होती थी। एक दो उदाहरण के साथ अपनी बात रख के फिर अपनी बात समाप्त करूंगा। भारत का 2500 वर्ष पूर्व का एक वैज्ञानिक, अध्यात्म के क्षेत्र का एक अब तक का सबसे बड़ा वैज्ञानिक सिद्धार्थ गौतम, लोक कल्याण कैसे हो, व्यक्ति दुखों से बाहर कैसे आए, इसका रास्ता क्या है, उसको खोजने के लिए वो अपना घर बार छोड़ता है और तप करके अपने बल से विद्या खोज निकालता है कि व्यक्ति दुखों से बाहर कैसे आए। अपने मन से शरीर का विश्लेषण करके विघटन करते करते अंतिम सच्चाई के ऊपर पहुंच जाता है। इस मटेरियल साइंस की अंतिम सच्चाई के ऊपर पहुंच जाता है जिसके आगे टुकड़े नहीं हो सकते। उसको वो कलाप नाम देता है। और 8 चीजें, 4 उसके जो मेटीरियलिस्टिक कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट हैं, भौतिक कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट हैं, पृथ्वी धातु, वायु धातु, अग्नि धातु और जल धातु, ये 4 चीजें और 4 उनके गुण और स्वभाव। पृथ्वी धातु भारी होना, हल्का होना, ये पृथ्वी धातु का गुण है। वायु धातु प्रकंपन प्रकंपन, ये वायु धातु का गुण है। और अग्नि धातु शीतल होना, गर्म होना, ये अग्नि धातु का गुण है। और जल धातु जल बांधने का काम करता है। तो ये 4 चीजें, ये और 4 इनके गुण और स्वभाव, ये अब इनके टुकड़े नहीं हो सकते, अब इनको हम नहीं तोड़ सकते हैं। इसलिए इसको उस व्यक्ति ने कलाप नाम दिया। कलाप मतलब इकाई, यूनिट है, हम उसको एटम बोलते हैं आज। और क्योंकि 8 चीजें एक साथ जुड़ी है तो इसको अष्ट कलाप भी कहा। और ये इकाई भी कितनी गति से, कितनी शीघ्र, अपने अनुभव से उस व्यक्ति ने देखा, ये कितनी शीघ्र गति से ये पैदा होती है, समाप्त होती है। तो कहता है कि एक जितने में मैं चुटकी बजाऊं या अपनी आंख झपकाऊं, पलक झपकाऊं, उतने में ये अनेक शत सहस्त्र कोटि बार पैदा होती है, समाप्त होती है। उस व्यक्ति का कितना तप होगा, कितना उसने योगदान दिया होगा, कितना उसका कंट्रीब्यूशन है 2500 वर्ष पूर्व, कितनी उसके मन की स्थिरता होगी। वो बोलता है कि ये अनेक शत सहस्त्र कोटि बार पैदा हो रहा है, समाप्त हो रहा है। शत 100 कोटि करोड़, शत सहस्त्र, सहस्त्र हजार कोटि करोड़, 100,000 करोड़, लगभग 10⁻12 टाइम, और अनेक बार। तो 1 सेकंड में एक बार पलक झपकाऊं, इतनी बार ये स्मॉलेस्ट पार्टिकल इकाई पैदा हो रही है, समाप्त हो रही है। और यही चीज लगभग 150 वर्ष पूर्व फिजिक्स का, न्यूक्लियर फिजिक्स का, क्वांटम फिजिक्स का एक साइंटिस्ट, कैलिफोर्निया यूनिवर्सिटी का क्वांटम फिजिक्स डिपार्टमेंट का हेड, प्रोफेसर एल्वर्स, नोबेल लॉरिएट, उस समय ये तो पता चल गया था कि सारा वर्ल्ड तरंग ही तरंग है, द होल वर्ल्ड इज नथिंग बट मियर वेवलेट्स। लेकिन ये जो तरंग है ये कितनी बार 1 सेकंड में पैदा हो रही है, समाप्त हो रही है, ये जानने के लिए उसने एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट बनाया जिसका नाम बबल चैम्बर रखा। तो अपने उस इंस्ट्रूमेंट से वो यही खोज करके निकालता है, पता लगाता है कि 1 सेकंड में ये 10⁻24 टाइम्स पैदा हो रहा है, समाप्त हो रहा है। वही सोच, वही खोज जो सिद्धार्थ गौतम ने, जिनको हम भगवान बुद्ध के नाम से जानते हैं, उस व्यक्ति ने 2500 वर्ष पूर्व अपने अनुभव से, अपने एक्सपीरियंस से, अपने तप के बल से वही चीज बताई। वही एक व्यक्ति जिसने अपने इंस्ट्रूमेंट से, अपने बुद्धि के अनुभव से वही चीज पता करके बताई। सेम चीज से एक सच्चाई पे दोनों पहुंचते हैं कि ये लगभग 10⁻23 टाइम्स 1 सेकंड में पैदा हो रही है, समाप्त हो रही है। लेकिन दोनों की मानसिकता में कितना अंतर है। मेरा कहने का मतलब यही है कि रिसर्च हमारी लोक कल्याण के लिए हो, कितना अंतर है। एक व्यक्ति जो बुद्ध हो गया, शुद्ध हो गया, 35 वर्ष की आयु में बुद्ध होता है और 80 वर्ष की आयु में अपना शरीर छोड़ता है, 45 वर्ष, वो व्यक्ति सारा जीवन राजकुमार है, घर बार छोड़ दिया है, सारे सुख छोड़ दिए हैं। लोक कल्याण कैसे हो, लोक दुखों से बाहर कैसे हो, समाज कैसे सुखी हो, संसार कैसे सुखी हो, सारा जीवन उसी कार्य में लगा देता है। और एक व्यक्ति प्रोफेसर एल्वर्स जिसको अपनी मशीन के ऊपर विश्वास है, उस व्यक्ति का जो पहला परमाणु बम बना, उसमें उसका हाथ, उसमें उसका कंट्रीब्यूशन। और वो व्यक्ति उस जहाज में बैठ के जब अमेरिका परमाणु बम गिराने के लिए जापान जा रहा है, उस जहाज में वो व्यक्ति बैठ के जाता है और ये जानने के लिए जा रहा है कि मेरे इस खोज का समाज के ऊपर क्या असर होगा, उस देश के ऊपर क्या असर होगा। कितना अंतर है मानसिकता में। लाखों लोग मर गए, आज भी लंगे लूले अपंग लोग वहां पैदा हो रहे हैं, आज भी विकृत शरीर से मन से विकृत लोग वहां पैदा हो रहे हैं। तो कितना एक भारत के वैज्ञानिक का दृष्टिकोण देखिए, एक पश्चिम के वैज्ञानिक का, जिसका एक ही लक्ष्य है, जिसका मन के ऊपर कोई शोध नहीं है, उसका एक ही लक्ष्य है, मैं कैसे धन कमाऊं, कैसे अधिक से अधिक मैं अपने हथियार बेचूं। ये अंतर, हमारी जितनी भी रिसर्च है उसमें लक्ष्य हमारा यही होना चाहिए कि लोक कल्याण कैसे, समाज का भला कैसे हो। इसी से हमें सुख और शांति, उस रिसर्च का सही मायने में आंतरिक लाभ होगा, एक आत्म संतुष्टि होगी। और ये रिसर्च सत्य के लिए, हम जनरली कई बार ऐसा देखा जाता है कि रिसर्च में कई बार डाटे भी बदल देते हैं। ऐसा रिजल्ट हमें दिख रहा है कि ये रिजल्ट आ रहा है, ये कुछ जो एग्जिस्टिंग रिजल्ट्स हैं उनके कंट्राडिक्शन में है, या इसका हो सकता है मैं ये रिजल्ट दूं उसका मुझे नुकसान हो जाए, तो उस हिसाब से हम थोड़े बहुत बदल फेर भी करते हैं। लेकिन आप देखेंगे पूर्व के जो रिसर्चर हुए, चाहे आर्यभट्ट हुए, चाहे पाइथागोरस हुए, एक तो उदाहरण से ही बात रखूंगा, इन लोगों ने ये खोज उस समय, ये खोज संसार को दी कि ये पृथ्वी चपटी नहीं है, गोल है, ये पृथ्वी गोल है। बहुत विरोध हुआ, लोगों ने बोला मूर्ख आदमी है, हमें दिख रहा है ये पृथ्वी तो सामने चपटी दिख रही है। बहुत विरोध हुआ लोगों का, लेकिन वो अपनी बात पे अड़े रहे। और धीरे धीरे जब वैज्ञानिक आधार पर ये चीजें प्रूव की गई कि ये पृथ्वी गोल है, तो उनकी बातें, उस समय कही गई बातें, ये लोगों ने उनको, समाज ने उनको स्वीकार किया। इसी तरह से इटली के वैज्ञानिक गैलीलियो, उनका भी हमारे पास उदाहरण है। उन्होंने कहा, उस समय यही मान्यता थी कि ये सूरज है, चांद है, ये पृथ्वी के चक्कर लगाते रहते हैं। गैलीलियो ने कहा कि ऐसा नहीं है, ये पृथ्वी अपने धुरी के अबाउट, अपने एक्सिस के अबाउट रोटेट करती है, इसीलिए हमें ये भ्रम रहता है कि सूरज और चांद ऐसे पूर्व से निकलते हैं और पश्चिम में छुपते हैं। और उस समय की जो परिस्थितियां थी, जो धार्मिक मान्यताएं थी, सामाजिक मान्यता थी, गैलीलियो का क्या असर हुआ, लाइफ सेंटेंस उस व्यक्ति ने झेली, लेकिन अपनी बात पे वो अड़ा रहा। अल्टीमेटली बाद में उन चीजों को वैज्ञानिक आधार पे जब फिर और प्रमाण दिए गए, लोगों ने स्वीकार किया। अगर वो लोग उस समय अपनी बात से फिर जाते तो हो सकता है उनकी जो कुर्बानियां हैं, उनके कारण जो आज रिसर्च, आज जो विज्ञान फैला है, हो सकता है उस स्तर तक ना पहुंच पाता। तो ये दो चीजें प्रमुख हैं। और जियोग्राफी का आपका ये सेमिनार है, आप लोगों का बहुत योगदान है पर्यावरण को, पृथ्वी को स्वस्थ रखने के लिए, स्वच्छ रखने के लिए, इसकी प्रकृति अपने स्वरूप में बनी रहे, इसके लिए आप लोग प्रयास करते रहते हैं। आप लोगों को बहुत बहुत साधुवाद। आप लोगों ने जो ऑर्गेनाइजिंग हमारी कमेटी है, टीम है, एक बहुत ही सुंदर, मैं देख रहा हूं, एक बहुत अच्छा वातावरण है, हमारे विद्यार्थियों को उसका बहुत लाभ होगा। ये बहुत सीखेंगे। डिफरेंट हमारे जो एस्टेब्लिश्ड साइंटिस्ट हैं, ज्योग्राफी के एमिनेंट स्कॉलर हैं, प्रदेश के और बाहर के जितने भी हैं, इनको बहुत लाभ होने वाला है, ये मैं स्पष्ट देख रहा हूँ। और विश्वविद्यालय की ओर से कोई भी आवश्यकता हो, हम हमेशा आपके साथ खड़े हैं। समय की कमी है, एक और सेमिनार, नेशनल सेमिनार यहाँ पर आरंभ होने वाला है, तो अपनी बात को इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ समाप्त करता हूँ। सभी का धन्यवाद, आभार। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us with such precious words. Sir has to go due to his busy schedule, as he has been invited as chief guest in a parallel national conference being organized in the university campus. Thank you so much, sir. In spite of your busy schedule, you came and graced our occasion and our inaugural ceremony. We are highly obliged, sir. Thank you. It's time for formal welcome of the dignitaries. May I invite convener of the seminar, Dr. B.R. Thakur, to present a welcome address and introduce the theme of the seminar.
Thank you, Nana. Professor S.P. Bansal, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Himachal Pradesh University, Chief Guest of the event. Professor Jyoti Prakash Sir, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Himachal Pradesh University, Guest of Honor. Professor B.S. Mad, Patron Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh. Professor Kaushal Kumar Sharma, Keynote Speaker from JNU. Professor D.D. Sharma, President, Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh and Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sardar Patel University, Mandi. Distinguished panelists, Professor M.S. Jaglan from Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra, my teacher. Professor S.C. Rai, joining us from University of Delhi. Professor Ashwini Luthra, joining us from School of Planning, GNDU Amritsar. Professor Amit Dhorde from University of Pune. Professor Anuja Tigga from Andhra University. Chairpersons, my friends from Himachal Pradesh University, deans and directors from Himachal Pradesh University, distinguished participants from different 15 states joining this inaugural session of today's national event, research scholars and students from the Department of Geography, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to one and all. On behalf of Department of Geography and Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh and Himachal Pradesh University, and on my own behalf as a convener, I welcome each and everyone joining this inaugural session of this 2 days national event and first annual meet of GSHP. It is said that no duty is more beautiful than extending warm greetings and welcome to the guests. Himachal Pradesh is known for its famous tagline Atithi Devo Bhava. So without wasting time, because we are already running short of time, सबका आभार, अभिनंदन, धन्यवाद कि आप लोग आए. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also intervene in this small galaxy of intellectuals that why Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh adopted this theme, that is Geography, Development and Public Policy, for detailed deliberations in this national event. In fact, it is a fulcrum of realization that the earth, we have not borrowed the earth from our past generations. We have borrowed it from future generations. So how geographers can contribute in maintaining the health, wealth and ecological balance of this borrowed planet? That is a point of discussion in this event. Given the fact that Geography is struggling hard for its identity survival and to establish its credibility as a branch of knowledge in the community of sciences, in the political arena and political corridors and in the arena of society. During the last 100 years, its death has been predicted, even announced on different platforms, but it refuses to die. With the advent of geospatial technologies, the boot has shifted to the other foot. It is evident from the growing geographicality from different allied disciplines such as economics, political science, public administration, even geology, biology, etc. During the last closing years of the 20th century, there has been emergence of a new geography, that is the geography of virtuality. And there is a tendency towards laptop geography, an incarnation of armchair geography. But this armchair geography is altogether different, but Carl Ritter had advocated, because this geography is much more scientific, much more technical, and much more professional and job oriented. The geospatial technologies and the curricula which is being taught all across the world has made us to believe that Mother Earth is geography's logo, as our chief guest Professor Jyoti Prakash was talking about. And geographers are intellectually omnivorous. It is true that India is a populous, fairly resource and technologically rich country. The population, when we talk about the geography development and public policy, it is important to understand whether population as a factor has been more potent in influencing the development process, or development has been more critical in influencing governing the demographic behavior in Indian context. Whether the population growth is neutralizing the development accruing from development, a myth or fact. I think this we need to stand. At present, there are three important population school of thoughts. One is the population pessimists or neo-Malthusians. They are of the opinion that due to over-peopling of the earth, the carrying capacity of the earth is going to collapse, it is going to overshoot, and heaven is going to fall, and earth is going to disrupt. Means they are population pessimists. And these people, they want to retrieve Malthus from the dustbin of the history and warn to the present human beings, means of human beings of the 21st century, that we need to consider the warnings of Malthus. But there is another school of thought, that is the population optimists. They think that population is the ultimate resource. And there are no evidences that we are polluting and plundering the resources of the earth to the extent that humankind is at the risk of extinction. There is third important school of thought, that is the population neutralists. They are of the opinion that it is the population nor it is the nature, but in the 21st century it is the political ecology, it is the political culture which is much more important to ensure any kind of development, whether it is sustainable development or green development. When we compare the population development maps, not population but development maps of 1951 and 2021, we will see that India has experienced multifaceted development. There is no doubt about it. We had population of India 0.37 billion in 1951, and now it has increased to 1.4 billion in the 2021. So there has been about 4 times increase during last 71 years. But whereas net national product, per capita net national product has increased 22 times during the same period. India was a food deficit country in 1951, and we had, I think, about 51 million tons food production in 1951, which has now increased to 314 million tons. So there has been about 6 times increase in the food production. And per capita income at constant prices has also increased about 6 times during the same period. Poverty ratio has declined from 47% in 1951 to about 6% in the 2021. So there has been huge decline. It means rich are becoming richer and poor are becoming less poor. But despite this very positive and very productive story or visibility that India is growing and developing, there is no doubt. But whatever development is taking place, this development is not promotive of the spatial justice, protective of ecology, and facilitator of social harmony. So there are some questions which I just would like to share with you because we are going to deliberate during different technical sessions as designed. So what are the questions and which are the areas that we need to focus upon? For example, what is the optimum spatial scale at which resources, both physical and human, can be managed with minimum cost and maximum benefit? And second important question is, which blend of localization and globalization will be beneficial in Indian context? Nowadays, we are talking about the Atmanirbhar Bharat or self-reliant India. So, to which extent this self-reliance or interdependence can be beneficial for a country like India? What is the population size of a district at which it can be governed, and for that matter that of a CD block at which it can be best planned? What is the rationale of developing a smart city, and what is the relevance of developing 100 smart cities in a contemporary urbanizing India? What is the geographer's take on the issues relating to the spatial segmentation? For example, there are different states which have took birth after the 1960. We have the Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Telangana, so many states. So whether geographers have some adequate tools to conduct the study of the trade-off between staying united and falling apart from a region into a new state. These are certain important questions that I think we need to deliberate upon, because and apart from the smart villages, we should apart from the smart cities, we should also think about the smart villages, because India's major economic strength, it lies in the villages. We have more than 6 lakhs villages, and which can't be monitored or governed or administered from the Delhi as well as from the state headquarters. So how geographers can contribute in developing the smart villages? After all, villages of today are towns and cities of tomorrow. So these are some of the questions. Should we leave these questions to the domain of the politics and wait for the event to take place and then conduct the study geographically? Or can we really contribute something substantially in these areas? What has been the outcome of area-based development programs, which has been the core feature of Indian planning? And it should not be a just matter of simple response. It should be a matter of rigorous research. Has our bureaucracy have the requisite skill and experience to implement the area-based development programs, or do they implement on the lines of the sectoral ones? So these are some of the questions I think that we need to deliberate upon. I would be selfish if I won't mention the name of, because I won't get the time to propose a vote of thanks as per our program. So I would like to mention the names some of our people who have been working behind the curtains to make this event a grand success. I would like to mention the name of Dr. Ramlal. He is organizing secretary, and he has been spending so many sleepless nights, and he has been putting sincere efforts to make this event a grand success. Another contributor is Dr. Seema Chaudhary. She's co-organizing secretary. She didn't leave any stone unturned to make this event a grand success. There are many, right from our office assistant up to Professor D.D. Sharma, president, chief architect of the program, who always kept us motivating, guiding, and doing the things. And after our biggest strength is our students, research scholars as well as master students. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, respected sir. Now, I would like to call upon dais Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sardar Patel University, Mandi, President GSHP, Professor D.D. Sharma sir, for presidential remarks.
Thank you, Diksha. Respected Vice Chancellor, Himachal Pradesh University, and Pro Vice Chancellor, Himachal Pradesh University, who, due to the certain reason, had to leave before I came to speak. Respected the keynote speaker, Kaushal Kumar Sharma ji. Respected Chief Patron of GSHP and my first teacher at the Department of Geography, Himachal Pradesh University, Professor Bhupinder Singh Marji. My younger and a very energetic convener of the seminar, Dr. B.R. Thakur. My students who have been now in the decision-making process, Dr. Ramlal and Dr. Seema Chaudhary. I feel really sandwiched today that on one side there is the affection and warmth of the love of my young students, but on other side there are the blessings of the seniors like Professor Mangad, Professor Mad, Professor P.D. Bhardwaji, and so many other senior professors who have come to join this first meet from different parts of the country, right from the states of Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh, Uttarakhand. We have professor from Uttarakhand, Professor Dinesh Goswami, Professor Anil Pal. We have professors from Chandigarh, Punjab University, Chandigarh, Professor Gaurav Kalotra and other colleagues. And we have also the various professors who have come from Punjab. Apart from Professor Mangad, there is also Professor Gill and also Baljit Kaur. We have the people from even Maharashtra, Professor Dode is there. We have people from professors from Delhi, as we have Professor S.C. Rai, who is Secretary General of National Association of Geographers India. And people from JNU, our keynote speaker, as well as our student who is now part of Jawaharlal Nehru University, Dr. Sanjeev, and so many others, because I don't think that I'll be in position to name everybody. As a president, I welcome you all. I was just thinking that as far as the theme is concerned, the keynote speaker shall be deliberating on it. And the theme has been already introduced by the keynote speaker. So I was just thinking, because my relationship with the department as well as the society, there have been many things which happened for the first time. Because when I joined the department, I belong to the first batch, as I said, when Professor Mart joined as lecturer, I joined the department. And by virtue of God, probably I was the first student passed out from the department who became part of the faculty. And today, as we are organizing this conference, which is the first conference of the Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh, I am here as the president. And even the another thing which has been interested to me, Sardar Patel University, because this came into being only this year. I became the first vice chancellor over there. मैं तो चाहता हूँ यूं ही मासूम बने रहना, ये जिंदगी है कि समझदार किए जाती है. तो आज का जो हमारा थीम भी है, उसके पहले मैं अपनी सोसाइटी के बारे में थोड़ा सा बात करना चाहता हूँ. प्रोफेसर मांगड़ जी ने थोड़ी बात पहले की थी. हमने करीब 10 साल पहले, ऑलमोस्ट जो है 10 साल अभी होने को है, जब हमने यहाँ पे एसोसिएशन ऑफ पंजाब जोग्राफर की मीट करी थी. करीब करीब उसी समय हमने इस सोसाइटी के बारे में सोचा. डॉक्टर ठाकुर के साथ बात हुई जब ये उस टाइम आए थे, तो हमने इस पे विचार किया. एंड दिस सोसाइटी हैज़ बीन रजिस्टर्ड ऑलमोस्ट 10 years बैक, बट दिस वॉज इन ए डॉर्मेंट स्टेज. एंड somehow during this pandemic time, we just thought of reviving it because many of the things have been happening. And as a result, the revival took place and now we have 135 life member, which happened only during the past few months, thanks to very young, energetic students who are working in different colleges of Himachal Pradesh and elsewhere. And we also decided that the life membership fee shall not be utilized for any conference and seminar, but this will be kept as a seed money. And so we have a fixed deposit for this thing, which amounts around 3.5 lakh, which is lying over there. So I believe that this society, and even the people from the other departments, even the law department, they were saying that normally we don't find these many people in the inauguration, in many of the conferences, and especially when it is the first conference. But geography, friends, is certainly more important. And that is also proved today over here. And I had been just thinking that people talk of GDP. I can see Professor Bist is over there. GDP, even our theme is also GDP. You can see this is geography, development, and public policy. So I believe that this is more important GDP in that sense. And while sitting on the stage, मुझे एक और GDP ध्यान में आ रहा था, because the senior most faculty member from this department who retired about 9 years back, Bhardwaj ji, he is a real GDP for me because he had been guru, and thereafter he is also that you can say one of the dost D, and he is also one of the prashansak. So there are so many GDPs which certainly take people as well as the society further. Friends, this geography, development, and public policy, they are certainly interrelated. And this is always said that we can not ignore geography. And these seminars, sometimes people think they are just a gathering. But friends, there is one word which I just thought of, which we often use these days in our smartphone. There is QR. Everybody talk of this QR code. But friends, those who are here, we have to think of the current meaning of the QR. Because we all may be qualified, but we have to make ourselves relevant also. So this QR is certainly more important for all of us, and this is to be there. This has to be stay. And exactly for the students, though we may be having so many, because as far as the population is concerned, we have around 4 crore students which are studying in the age group of 18 to 23, which makes our gross enrollment ratio. But how many of them are really relevant? I think geography, in that sense, it can play a very vital role. And I used to say that geography is something which is always very important, wherever. जब मैं यहाँ बैठा था तो मैंने टोपी हटा के जो है मैंने थोड़ा अपनी शक्ल देखी तो कौशल जी कह रहे थे, मैंने कहा दिस इज ऑल्सो ज्योग्राफी एंड आई थिंक दिस इज द ज्योग्राफी जहाँ सबसे पहले ध्यान जाता है. What is your economics and what is your sociology, what is your history is not something which is reflected on our face. But it is the geography which is seen first. So in that sense, even at the individual level, geography is very important. And sometimes people may criticize certain organizations. So, but I just want to tell you that this particularly, हम पहुंचने के बाद सुधरना चाहते हैं, लेकिन जब हम ये ज्योग्राफी को डेवलपमेंट और प्लानिंग को जोड़ते हुए आगे चलते हैं तो निश्चित रूप से जो है हमारे को उस बात का भी ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि ये किस तरह से आपस में जुड़ा हुआ है. क्योंकि इस बात पे मैं केवल एक चीज़ के साथ अपनी बात को समाप्त करूँगा. Some time back, when there was Albert Einstein, he once said that if A is successful, it is equal to X plus Y plus Z. I think in that sense, X is the physical attainments, I think, which may be the pure geography. But at the same time, Y is the linkages. If we have the people from 8-10 states today over here, this is something which is very important. And I believe that Z is also the traditions, the cultures that we organize such activities, because it's not always the vertical there is also the horizontal learning. With these words, because we are falling short of time, I once again welcome you and thank you all. Thanks. Jai Hind, Jai Himachal.
Thank you, respected sir. Now it's time for an enlightened talk. अब मैं आज के मुख्य वक्ता के बारे में कुछ पंक्तियां कहना चाहूँगी। महोदय, आपसे पूछा कहाँ हमने तारुफ आपका। महोदय, आपसे पूछा कहाँ हमने तारुफ आपका। आपका किरदार तो उड़ती खुशबुओं ने कह दिया। अब मेरा अनुरोध रहेगा प्रोफेसर कौशल कुमार शर्मा जी से कि वे मंच पर आएं और अपना वक्तव्य रखें।
चलाएगा प्रेजेंटेशन चलाएगा बोला दिया था प्रेजेंटेशन चलाएगा Good morning to all of you. It's indeed a great pleasure to be here today as a part of the Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh and also my association for a very long time with the Department of Geography, Himachal Pradesh. And the best part is that the first conference that is being organized by the Geographical Society of India is on a very valid and the relevant theme, where they want to club up the main issues of today. One for geographers as geography, development for developers, and policymakers and planners. The three basic issues are of great concern today in this present 21st century. Before I get down to the details for it, I just have 6 slides to show you, and I asked Professor Thakur that how much time would you give me to speak? He said that you can speak for 30 to 40 minutes. I said that I will not show the slides, but I will speak otherwise. He said that you have to make a presentation. So this presentation is because the organizers have asked me to put a presentation to you. Thank you for giving this opportunity to share my few points which I have been working for last 40 years in academics. And then putting up various different forums and the kind of the work I have been doing with the different kind of forums, I have made less presence in geography as such. But I work with the different organizations outside the domain of geography. And I make them understand that how I understand geography and how I can make you understand geography. With this theme, I work with various organizations. I work with their policies and I work with their communication strategies. With this notion, I take the opportunity today to thank everyone on the dais and all people, those who are there on the other side and very senior colleagues of geography. There's a long list, I have never met them many, but yes, I know their names. And I also at the same time thank Thakur, Professor Ramlal, Dr. Seema, having made a lot of efforts. I don't know, on the basis of the Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh or on the basis of the Department of Geography. So they have a dual responsibility, calling us most of the time that we should reach in time. We were late. But in a way, I'm also very thankful to Dr. Sarita Verma, who has written a wonderful book on the folk geography. I hope the localized geographies are becoming more important in planning. And that is where the geographer needs to work on. And this needs to be understood by all geographers. Now, geography is a concern for me as a teacher, as a researcher, as a guide to many people, those who are doing PhD under my supervision. I'm speaking with only one thing in mind. I'm not placing you all in geography, but I'm placing myself in geography, then I'm making a presentation to you all. So all geographers need to place them where they do stand in geography and in the domain of geography and what they can contribute to geography. This is to be understood by all of us. The second part is the development, which is a commonly understood phenomena today by many and all the people, whether they are in academics or beyond the domain of academics. But the utilitarian concept in public policy, that is lacking. Let me tell you one thing, I was Googling up many things, but I never came across that the geographers are working on geography and public policy. Nowhere in India. And they don't teach the paper on geography and public policy. Only few private universities which have come up recently, they have picked up this public policy. They're taking a lead today. Maybe Ashoka University, or maybe Jindal University, maybe Kalinga University, maybe Flame University. You take the important private universities and you see they are contributing to the public policy today. But none of the geographers are nowhere in the public policy domain. How we can contribute? That will remain a question for every one of us to understand today. And we have to locate ourselves today in the world, otherwise we'll be far behind. I will be touching upon only one geographer I know, Professor K.V. Sundaram, who made an immense contribution in the planning. He was in a planning commission. I'll be picking up some of his ideas where he contributed as a geographer. At the same time, when none of the private universities living, I hope the Western concept is too thick in sense that they work on the public policy. And largest number of geographers are from USA. They have made an immense contribution in the public policy domain in US public planning policy. So where we do lack in this. With this, I hope I should be touching upon this particular part. When I was looking at the kind of the program that has been given to me, then you are touching upon the basic issues related to natural hazards, maybe related to the inclusive development, sustainability issues, economic organizations, on globalization, on regional development, urban policies, and you have one last session on the public policy, where the panel discussion will be held in the last. We have a lot of expectations from the geographers, those who have contributed to. When I started teaching long back in '84, I was told that what you can teach. I said, you can give me anything, I will teach. That is the first reaction from me as a geographer. Having specialized in rural development and agriculture transformation, I was given geomorphology to teach and climatology. Then you can understand my plight at that stage of time when a person who has been working for the last 6-7 years on his PhD exercise suddenly was imposed to teach physical geography and the climatology, which I'm not a trained geographer in that sense. It went on for many years like this. Year kept rolling and I kept teaching numerous papers. I hope you name anyone. I can teach all the papers. Then time came in 2004, I was very anxious to take up research projects. I went to the funding agency, they said it, what you can do? I said, you give me anything, I will research upon. That is the second kind of the mindset I carry, because I wanted a research project beyond the domain of my knowledge. And I started working on as what The girls were listing out here. I worked on disasters. I work on numerous kind and hardcore geomorphology on landslides, earthquakes, which has never been a domain. But I wonder that at this stage of time, the Department of Science and Technology appreciated my work on the landslides and the earthquakes. I don't know why. In a way, that went on then, having taught for more than, say, nearly 3 decades, the year 2010, at that point of time, I realized that now I need to enter into my domain and enter into the policy framework today. I'm also in JNU looking after the Dean School of Social Sciences, which has 14 centers in social sciences. None of the social science centers teach public policy. Yesterday, when I was supposed to come, there was a presentation of all the researchers in the social science or in the sociology department. I just told them that why don't you introduce a paper on the sociology and public policy. The idea stuck and they said we will be pushing up to the Board of Studies next time on the public and sociology and public policy. So I'll be now working with many of the other centers to bring in the public policy into their domain of teaching. At the same time, I would request all the senior geographers, those who are still teaching in their departments, please bring in geography and public policy as one paper. Otherwise, you will never be heard. You will be always marginalized in the academic arena and development planning. So therefore, that will be my humble request to everyone. With this background note, I was reading a book on long time back when I was a student, Teach Yourself Geography by David Harvey, a very small book. Now that book probably is one for our beginners to understand what geography is. If you cannot connect locations, places, and people, you can never think of regional planning or you can never think of any public policy. So all of you should read one book, understand or teach yourself geography. And at the same time, you have to make others to understand geography. With this, I have few slides to show you that how I began to understand myself. Now, if you say, look at, first you need to understand geography by yourself. I need not to go in detail because you all know that. I'm not talking about the senior people, those who are sitting here, but the youngster, those who are in research should understand geography very carefully. Then I touch upon the law of geography that was given by Waldo Tobler. Everything is related to everything else, but near things are more related to distant things. This is where you need to understand geography of closeness and farness. And then, because I'm just touching upon my thrust to today to discuss with you is only public policy, how to arrive at that point of time. I'm taking and drawing the help of geography as such. There are 4 basic traditions of geography. And all these 4 traditions are part of the public policy. Maybe it's locational analysis, what we do. You can read any kind of a geographer, maybe from West or maybe from India, all locational analysis are being done. Second part is the relationship that what you all study and make a thrust in what the man-land relationships can be there. Now these are the strength we carry with us. The third is that regional traditions. You begin from heart-shown to understand yourself that how that heart-shown nature of geography talks about the regional analysis. And every geographer should read that book very carefully. And you drive the traditions of regional planning from there. And he at the same time worked on the principles of areal differentiations in the perspective or nature of geography. The second book, people, those who work on planning should read that book. Third is the science traditions we carry with us, any form. But lately in the 21st century, when you see, भाई मेरे को stop कर देना कहाँ बोलना, ठीक है? And then you have said that technology driven what we call geography today. And many young scholars are techno-savvy today. They devote less time on understanding fundamentals of geography. So therefore, whatever the kind of you can read from where you can see, I need not to repeat them, but this is all where the technology is making you more understandable geography from a very close today. And of course, when we see geography, then you try to relate with development. Then you have the time framework in geography as such one. And then how it has evolved over a period of time from 50s to the 90s and onward to the present century. I hope all the session details talks about the same. But one thing is there for me to make you understand is a public policy talks about the scale. If you are talking about a local scale where the world globalized era today talks about, that you come down from a globalization to localization today under the 17th Sustainable Development called as localizing the Sustainable Development Goals. So you are bringing down the scale from a global to a small scale, regional, or maybe beyond, below to the panchayat levels. And panchayats have been made a unit to implement the Sustainable Development Goals as such. That is the point where all geographers can now contribute in localizing the Sustainable Development Goals and bring in the policy framework, because India do not have a public policy at a panchayat level under the localizing of Sustainable Development Goals. First point for all geographers to do the research. And that is where we need to move beyond to the region, and then from there we move to a national scale, and from there we move ahead toward the international level. This is the way. And one would say very remotely try to understand the public policy, then it talks about the kind of the laws, the regulatory situations framed by the government. But the second part of it is important is once this regulation or regulatory framework is created, it talks about and you please place yourself now as a geographer into it. It talks about the public policies and institutionalized proposal to solve relevant and real world problems. I hope the whole list of the topics which all researchers have come up with is nothing but the same. They are trying to understand and solve the kind of the problems raised from time to time, guided by the conceptions and implemented by programs. Geographers do not implement, they don't go and don't become the pragmatic geographers. For that, I would say I started implementing the geography in different parts of India under CSR programs. I have applied about 52 major programs in Uttarakhand. And all geography has been applied. And I make best use of geography to make the CSR policy and how to implement the CSR policy with the corporations. I work with 12 to 13 TSUs in their baseline surveys, in monitoring and evaluations, implementing of the projects, or at the same time, I also take up the impact valuation studies. This is what is required for a geographer to go beyond the domain of the teaching classrooms and then enter into an arena of making others know what geographers can do. I also coordinate the programs on Unnat Bharat Abhiyan at different forums and different platforms. I work in the rural development to bring changes in the life. What I do is how to change the mind and life of people. Time कितना हो गया अभी? 10 minutes. So they have given me a time to speak for another 7 minutes. I will try to sum up because the rest of the slides are not too heavy in a sense to make you understand. And then you need to, all geographers need to, what I would always suggest, if geographers do not associate with the NGOs or the public sector organizations, no one is going to hear you. Please, you associate yourself with all academic organizations, but work or start working with various private organizations, those who work with the rural development. I hope that is what I said is the geographers have tendency to spin in all directions. That is what I began with. Ping pong ki tarah kaam karte hain. That is not desire. So what kind of a geography and what kind of a policy? And that is where the David Harvey in Transaction of Institute of British Geographers 1974, then he said, can geographer contribute successfully and effectively to the formulation of a public policy? Question remains unsolved in day to day in India as such. So geography is a social necessity. It has to become a social necessity. Only then you'll be able to form a healthy society. And that is where the many states are having their different local plans. Lastly, I was there in Bihar only to see how the public policy framework in rural development and the tribal is being taken up by them to help them and to guide them. You may be doing it at your own level. Attention should be, now the question is, the attention needs to be given both to the geographical structuring. I hope it is a question in the 1960s and 70s, the Marxists and structuralism in geography became very important. And now we need to structure geography and then to create the public policy questions. You need to raise the question to how the importance of a region. So I would say the geographer should focus main on region and regional analysis and then to see how you can integrate all set of planning and policies in that. Then what geographers have to demonstrate, geographers have to really make other people that we can fulfill the national needs and the priorities. How many geographers have done it like this? We need to. Now this is the time, this is the question for geographer survival. And why universities should think to invest in geography. They don't want to invest in geography and their different techniques and instrumentations today. Time is less, I could have given you some examples here. The geographers have to compete with other disciplines today. This is a big challenge. How can you compete with sciences? How can you compete with the sociology, economics, political science? They carry a strong sense of the space, locations, and the theoretical framework with them. At the same time, we need to command our destiny as a geographer. I will not read them up, but you can just see that the geography and public policy concerns can be, one line, the first, spatial and human environmental aspect of a region, the formulations, the implementation and monitoring, and an evolution of a public policy from there. आप काम करें वहां से public policy निकाल के लाएं. Our researchers come up with 1 page of conclusion and recommendations and write 300 pages, which has no value. And at the same time, you can read the list how they have contributed in the 19th century in census, or maybe in water issues, maybe in metropolitan issues, territorial specialists, or sea negotiations, and maybe international humanitarian aspects. And Douglas Stram, he gave us the land utilization survey of Britain. You name any geographer in India, what they have done. For that, I would say, K.V. Sundaram was one from, he died, of course, I have a time to interact with him. There's a long list what he was then in Planning Commission. He worked as a joint director, deputy advisor, joint advisor to the multi-level planning division. That is where he made a greatest contribution as an geographer in the regional planning, and that was the late Professor K.V. Sundaram as an geographer. And then I don't need to relate them to, but yes, he had played a crucial role in drafting to planning. And he was the one who suggested that there should be one geographer planner in each and every block of nation. But it has not been implemented, and we never emphasized it also. Now, when this is the kind of a situation where the geographers and geography is not in demand, how then you can think on development and how can you think on public policy? This is what we need to work on. So where to go from here? How this is one, and the last small slide is there, I'll wind up then. It says, expanding geography's role in policy also face a fundamental choice with regard to how we can enter into the policy arena. It's a question for the seniors and the question for the juniors. Drawing a parallel line that how we can enter into one. With whom we work once there. How to work in. I made an inroad into the corporations. Professor Sundaram made a contribution and entry into the Planning Commission. So therefore, you need to find a place where to enter, and who will make you enter there? Your subject strength will make you enter. If we do not make geography as a wholesale strength or say sellable strength to the market, we will not be able to enter. And to whom we influence. Now the third question is whom to influence. We need to influence the government of India or the state government. We don't have to influence the academicians. We have to influence the bureaucrat. And I really would try to say that because of the Honorable Prime Minister is coming to Mandi on tomorrow, I asked Professor Thakur, please call a bureaucrat and make him understand and how geographers will contribute to him into the arena of the planning in the state departments. This is what the choice was mine, but he said it. He also, because he's the principal advisor to the Chief Minister, he could not attend that. And he was also an environmentalist from Jawaharlal Nehru University. So therefore, you need to see whom you can influence. You can influence me, there is no use. I influence you, there is no use. You need to influence the people, those who are there in the administration, the bureaucrat, the policymakers, the planners. You have to list out those people and to reach out to them. Otherwise, geography is not heard. It's a marginalized subject today. And then, foremost instrumental talk, the target work specific government policies. That is what I just said it. And then, I will not take this into detail, but of course, when the geographer have these all 7 points on the left-hand side, maybe the objective need to be clear, general policy framework need to be assessed, sphere of action need to be brought into focus, and approaches need to be well defined. The focus has to be targeted, what we need to do, and what kind of instruments we have with us as a regional geographer. And then at the same time, who are the actor organization, those who will be able to support you to make us understand. I hope with this, I should not take more time. This is the last one I wanted to share with you all. But the question is, we really have to put in our heads. I'm very happy once the organizers have played an important role to bring to you all here, to come up with one word I really liked and I wanted to speak. May not be as a keynote speaker, but even as a participant, I would have come that we need to really bring geography into the public policy. If we do not make a contribution, the whole exercise will be jeopardized. Whatever you do, it is there in the library. It is there for reference. It is there for anything. With this, I hope I thank once again the organizing secretary, the whole team engaged with Ramlal, Seemaji, and all people, those who have come specially to attend, or also the contributed to make this organization more stronger in time to come. These are the platform where we raise voices, and I would say all of you, that they raise a voice for geography. And that is what the Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh have taken more than 300-400 representations from the grassroots level, from the panchayat level to the MLAs and MP, and they have given it to the government at least to start geography in each and every school, college, and university in Himachal Pradesh. And I'm very happy that they have immensely contributed in this one direction in the policy measure. Second, I would be discussing with the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Sardar Patel University. We told them you have gone as a geographer and you need to start geography. On behalf of the Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh, he agreed upon in principle, only in principle, that if time and everything goes well, he will be able to initiate a process to start geography even in the Sardar Patel University. I hope big applause to great geographer, and we are all very happy today that he has become a vice chancellor and is the first president of this organization. We are honored to be happy to be there in this organization. With this, I hope I thank you all for listening to me for a long time, but the time he has given me, only he has to be blamed for. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We wanted to hear you more, but due to time constraints, we could not. As this hall is booked by Department of Law for their national seminar that is being organized with Australian delegates, we have a recorded message from our chief guest, Professor S.P. Bansal, sir. I would request to play the recorded message.
Know that today, to know today that today Department of Geography, to know is organizing very important seminar on the theme Geography Development and Public Policy in collaboration with Geographical Society of Himachal Pradesh. Dear friends, although COVID-19 is probably the worst threat for economy has ever faced, although there is some room for sanguinity which we have seen and Bharat has shown to the whole world. COVID-19 have jammed all our lives and compelled all of us to rethink, revisit, and continues to push us towards a new normal. Although we have found a lot of solution now in the post-COVID era, and there are numerous paradigm models of post-pandemic management that are being suggested. I always suggested on various platforms, that is respond, reimagine, recover model, respond, resolve, recover model, survival, revival, growth model. I came to know that about 135 participants registered from about 15 states, mainly from West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Uttarakhand, Chhattisgarh, Chandigarh, Bihar, Delhi, etc. But I'm really very sorry that either physically I could not attend this important seminar, and today also, due to some very important engagement, as Honorable Governor of Himachal Pradesh is visiting to our university in Central University of Himachal, where I am a regular Vice Chancellor, and that's the reason that I am giving my message online. On the stage present, our Pro-Vice Chancellor, Professor Jyoti Prakash, Professor B.S. Murd, Patron, GSHP, Professor D.D. Sharma, Vice Chancellor, Sardar Patel University, Mandi. I also came to know that Professor Kaushal is here from JNU, who is a keynote speaker. And I also take this opportunity to offer my tribute of love and admiration towards organizers, and particularly Dr. B.R. Thakur, who has made a lot of efforts, I know, to make this seminar a grand success. I congratulate to Dr. B.R. Thakur and his whole team of Geography Department. Dear friends, at a time when environmental matters have become a topic of general public concern, therefore, it is highly appropriate to consider the role of geography and particularly geographers within policy making. This 3-day seminar will definitely review some of the achievements of geography in policy fields, considers why they have not been as substantial as they must be, and will discuss the contributions which might be made useful in the future. Because we are preparing our plan, future plan, roadmap for SDG 2030. The main role of geography has been in teaching and in research also, even though I can understand that the geographers have contributed in a professional and advisory role at the central and local government. They have made less of contribution than have. Still, I feel the members of the other disciplines. And this is paradoxical in view of geography's long established interest in environmental matters. The internal and external constraints which have led to this situation can be overcome by a greater overt interest of the geographers in the matter of the policy, by greater flow of good research oriented to policy, and by flow of the graduates which they are producing regularly to work in these areas. Dear friends, the need is for geographers to identify the contributions which the subject can make to encourage research which can demonstrate that their approaches can be appropriate to the solution of large-scale problems, and to increase further the dialogue between the profession and those of make and implement official policy. And it is very important to sensitize at this stage to the various policy makers by the academicians. Yes, of course, NEP is now with us. National education policy is bringing about a whole set of new challenges in every possible realm. Higher education being just one, and given the rapidly evolving situation around the pandemic, had forced shift from offline to online mode of teaching learning, given us a peek into the reality ahead as well. Dear friends, in research, there is a need to develop knowledge of spatial statistics, of forecasting of behavior, of remote sensing and automated cartography and other computer applications. I know, and I'm happy to say that the Himachal was the first state to adopt national education policy in the country. And I'm also happy to say that our Central University is the first university in the country for implementation of national education policy. And in the same analogy, we have also now decided to implement national education policy in Himachal Pradesh University in every department. Geography department need to open certain need-based courses. They have to prepare a basket to give it to the other departments as well. In teaching, there are columns of developing courses which can cater both for the general education of the non-specialist and the rigorous technical needs of future professional geographers. If we do not seek to demonstrate our skills more actively, because this is, we have to take a mantra which is many times given by our Honorable Prime Minister, that it is required for skill, reskill and upskill. And we shall increasingly find that the opportunities are no longer open to us, and that other disciplines will fill the roles otherwise which geographers are, I believe, well qualified to fill that gap. The road to reform may be long. Collaborative, consultative, and cooperative efforts are really required to strengthen the geographical planning capacity of the country. The moment to start is now, if the country has to keep pace with the emerging demands of the time. If geographers are serious about taking responsibility for geographers and policy, then surely the role of academics as educators must be considered on an equal footing with our role as researchers. Dear friends, our pedagogy still relies on outdated education system that lays emphasis on what to think rather than how to think. The vast majority of teachers lack soft skills that innovate their knowledge dissemination capability. Therefore, we need to train our teachers first to develop the art of critical thinking. The different traits need to be nurtured in the faculty. That is, capability to use evidences skillfully and impartially, and skill to organize thoughts and articulate it concisely and coherently. We need best researchers in the geography. Research is a journey, but not a destination. There is no success or failure in research. No matter what you plan, you never know what life has planned for you. Success introduces you to the world, but failure introduces the world to you. Often, when we lose hope and think this is end, someone inside smiles and says, it's just a bend, not the end. This is life, dear friends, and this must be the attitude. Thank you very much for have a patience listening my this message. My all the best to the organizers, to all the delegates for their all future endeavors. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Himachal University.
Now, I would like to request Vice President GSHP, Dr. Madan Mangotia, to propose a formal vote of thanks.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग्। अति श्रद्धेय मंच, देश व प्रदेश के भिन्न भिन्न कोनों से आए यहाँ पधारे हुए डेलीगेट्स, मेरे प्रिय साथियों व विद्यार्थियों, मेरा सादर नमस्कार। मैं इस ऐतिहासिक और यादगार अवसर पर जीएसएचपी का वाइस प्रेसिडेंट होने के नाते धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव देने का अवसर पाकर सम्मानित और सौभाग्यशाली महसूस कर रहा हूँ। सर्वप्रथम मैं प्रोफेसर एसपी बंसल, ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर हिमाचल प्रदेश यूनिवर्सिटी शिमला, और जो कि हमारी संस्था के चीफ पैटर्न भी हैं, का हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं कि उन्होंने अपनी समस्त व्यस्तताओं के बावजूद वर्चुअल ही सही इस राष्ट्रीय संगोष्ठी में अपनी उपस्थिति दर्ज करवाई व हमें आशीर्वाद दिया। मान्यवर, अपना बहुमूल्य समय देने पर आपका कोटि कोटि नमन व आभार। मैं प्रोफेसर डी शर्मा जी, ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर सरदार पटेल यूनिवर्सिटी मंडी, जो कि हमारी संस्था के प्रेसिडेंट भी हैं, का भी इस संगोष्ठी में पधारने पर व इस संगोष्ठी में अपने विचार रखने, अपना बहुमूल्य समय देने पर हार्दिक अभिनंदन व आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। मैं प्रोफेसर ज्योति प्रकाश, ऑनरेबल प्रो वाइस चांसलर एचपीयू शिमला का इस संगोष्ठी में अपने उपस्थिति दर्ज करवाने तथा इस संगोष्ठी के लाभों पर अपने विचार रखने पर अपना बहुमूल्य समय देने पर उनका हार्दिक अभिनंदन व आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। अपने की नोट एड्रेस के कर्तव्य का निर्वहन करने, संगोष्ठी की विषय वस्तु व सभी बिंदुओं को अपने विचारों द्वारा बहुत साफगोई से रखने और इस संगोष्ठी को रोचक और सार्थक बनाने के लिए हमारे विशिष्ट वक्ता प्रोफेसर के शर्मा जी को धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ। प्रोफेसर के शर्मा जी हमारी संस्था के को पैटर्न भी हैं। सर, आपका स्नेह हमारे ऊपर यूं ही बना रहे। मैं यहाँ मौजूद हिमाचल प्रदेश विश्वविद्यालय के उन सभी डीन्स, डायरेक्टर्स, चेयरपर्सन्स, गुरुजनों, शिक्षाविदों, देश प्रदेश के भूगोलविदों व भूगोलविदों का भी यहाँ पधारने पर आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, जिनका नाम समय की पाबंदी की वजह से इस मंच से नहीं ले पा रहा हूँ। अंत में मैं इस प्रतिष्ठित मंच से भूगोल विभाग के उदयमान विद्यार्थियों का आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, जो कि इस आयोजन की रीढ़ है और इसे सफल बनाने में पूरी ऊर्जा लगा रहे हैं। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. There is an important announcement that the lifetime membership certificates will be distributed tomorrow in or after the valedictory session.
ध्यान से सुनिएगा। हर चीज अपने वक्त पर अच्छी लगती है, हर चीज अपने वक्त पर अच्छी लगती है, मगर ए चाय तू हर वक्त अच्छी लगती है। So ladies and gentlemen, it's time for high tea, which has been arranged outside the seminar hall. And thank you for your patience. And after tea break, technical session 1 will start. Thank you. At 3 different venues. One is in the Department of Geography, second is in ICDOL, and third is in VC committee room. Thank you.